Hello and welcome to all students. In the chemical bonding, this is the chapter from 11th science chemistry. And students, in our previous lecture, we have seen the different parts of this chapter. And in our today's lecture, we are going to learn a new concept, that is ionic or electrovalent bond. Student, from Cosel's and Levitt's treatment of the formation of an ionic bond, it follows that the formation of ionic compounds would primarily depends upon the two factors, that is ease of formation of the positive and negative ions from the respective neutral atoms, and the second concept is that the arrangement of positive and negative ions in the solid, that is the lattice of the crystalline compound. And if we consider here some of the examples, the formation of positive ion involves the ionization, that is removal of electrons from the neutral atom, and that of the negative ion involves the addition of electrons to the neutral atom. So look at these examples, you will understand by this simple process. Here one of the atom which is present in gaseous state, when it loses electrons, it will acquire positive charge over its head with the loss of electron, and at the same time if the electron is added to the positive gaseous atom, it will bears a negative charge, that is x minus, we have shown here in the example. And if we combine here the negative and the positive atom, then we will get the formation of a neutral molecule. The electron gain enthalpy, that is delta Heg, is the enthalpy change when a gas phase atom in its ground state gains an electron in electron gain process, and the process may be an exothermic or endothermic. So we can say that during this process sometimes energy is lost and sometimes energy is required to complete that reaction. Now students, when we come to the point, ionic bonds, they will be formed more easily between elements with comparatively low ionization enthalpies and elements with comparatively high negative value of electron gain enthalpy. These are the two important factors in which the ionic bonds can form. Most ionic compounds have cations derived from metallic elements and anions from non-metallic elements. The ammonium ion, that is NH4 ion, is an exception. It forms cation with a number of ionic compounds. Means, for example, if we consider here NH4 plus can form a number of bonds, number of compounds with the other molecules. In ionic solids, the sum of the electron gain enthalpy and ionization enthalpy may be positive, but still the crystal structure gets stabilized due to the energy released in the formation of the crystal. Means, if we consider here their values, that is electron gain enthalpy values and ionization enthalpy, they may be positive, but still the crystal structure gets stabilized due to the energy released in the formation of the crystal. This energy which is released sometimes may be in negative. Now here lattice, for example, the ionization enthalpy for Na plus formation of Na gaseous atom is 495.8 kilojoule per mole. Means this is the energy which is gained by, means when the electron is gained by that Na plus ion, during that this much amount of energy is required, while the electron gain enthalpy for the change, that is chlorine, when accepts one of the electron, it will form Cl minus, is minus 348.7 kilojoule per mole. Means for the losing we require 495.8, and for the gain of the electron we require minus 348.7 kilojoule per mole of the energy. And if you take the sum of the two, you will get the difference 147.1 kilojoule per mole is more than the compensated for by the enthalpy of lattice formation, that is NaCl. This is the lattice enthalpy or the energy we can say for the formation of NaCl, that is minus 788 kilojoule per mole. Therefore, the energy released in the process is more than the energy absorbed. This is the conclusion of all these factors that we have learned here. Energy released in the process is more than the energy absorbed. This is the conclusion of this formation of NaCl and the electron gain and the lattice enthalpy that we have studied. Now, what is meant by lattice enthalpy? The lattice enthalpy of an ionic solid is defined as the energy required to complete separate 1 mole of solid ionic compound into gaseous constituent ions. Suppose if we have a molecule that is H2, and when we want to separate it as a single hydrogen, that is 1/2 H2 in the gaseous form, then the energy required to complete that process is nothing but the lattice enthalpy. For example, if we consider here the lattice enthalpy of NaCl is 788 kJ per mole. This means that 788 kJ of energy is required for this to separate 1 mole of solid NaCl into 1 mole of Na plus gaseous in gaseous state and 1 mole of Cl minus in the gaseous state to an infinite distance. This is what we are calling it as a lattice enthalpy. Now students, in this chapter there are some important factors or the definitions are also present. Out of that we will learn one by one here. Out of them, one of the parameter is bond parameter. Bond parameters, in that we will learn first the bond length. Bond length is defined as the equilibrium distance between the nuclei of two bonded atoms in a molecule. Suppose if we consider for example as a H2, one of the atom, that is H, which is separated by the sum of the distance by another hydrogen, the distance between the two nuclei of these bonded atoms is called the bond length of that corresponding hydrogen, that is H2 molecule. Now here in the case of covalent bond, the contribution from each atom is called the covalent radius of that atom. The covalent radius is measured approximately as the radius of an atom core which is in contact with the core of an adjacent atom in a bonded situation. Now here, if we consider here by pictorially, we can understand the covalent radius is half of the distance between similar atoms joined by a covalent bond of the same molecule. The van der Waals radius represents the overall size of the atom, which includes its valence shell in the non-bonded situation. Now look at this picture, we will get the correct meaning. A atom and B atom, these two atoms are joined by their corresponding surface. At the surface, Ra and Rb are the radius of the their atoms from the center. Now we are going to learn the next concept, that is bond angle. It is defined as the angle between the orbitals containing bonding electron pairs around the central atom in a molecule, or we can say complex ion. It gives some idea regarding to the distribution of orbitals around the central atom in a molecule or complex ion, and hence it helps us in the determination of its shape. For example, HOH bond angle in water can be represented as this slide. In this slide you will get the one of the detailed structure at the top of this slide. HOH, the bond angle which is denoted in this slide is 109 degree 109.5 degree, and the correct three-dimensional arrangement of these atoms in a water molecule are also shown here. The blue dot at the center, which indicates the oxygen atom, which contains the two lone pair of electrons, and the two hydrogen atoms are present in the plane, that is xz, and in the plane xz and xy. So this is nothing but what you can say the bond angle which is created by the two bonded OH, O, that is oxygen, and H, the hydrogen, which is extended or formed by this molecule. Now we will go to the next concept, that is bond enthalpy. It is the amount of energy to break 1 mole of bonds of a particular type between two atoms in the gaseous state. The unit of bond enthalpy is kg per mole. For every molecule, same amount of energy or bond enthalpy is not needed to break that atom. Therefore, different bond enthalpies are needed for the breaking of different bonds. Now suppose if we consider here in polyatomic molecules, the term mean or average bond enthalpy is used. Poly means many, means the molecule which is formed by many atoms. It is obtained by dividing total bond dissociation enthalpy by the number of bonds broken. Now in the next concept, bond order will comes. What is meant by bond order? In the Lewis description of covalent bond, the bond order is given by the number of bonds between the two atoms in a molecule. The bond order, for example, in H2 with a single shared electron pair, it shows the single bond, hence its bond order will be 1. In O2 with two shared electron pairs, hence its bond order will be 2. And in nitrogen, in between N and N there is a triple bond, means 3 shared electron pairs are present, so therefore the bond order of N2 will be 3. So we can say that the bond order of H2 and O2 and N2 are 1, 2, 3 respectively. The isoelectronic molecules and the ions have identical bond orders. For example, if we consider here F2, O2, 2 minus have bond order 1, and N2, CO and NO plus have bond order 3. Because the ions have identical bond orders, a general correlation useful for understanding the stability of the molecules is that with increase in bond order, bond enthalpy increases and bond length decreases. This is the very important concept that you should remember while studying or while solving the questions which are asked from this concept, that is bond order. With increase in, I will repeat again, with increase in bond order, bond enthalpy increases and bond length decreases. Now this is all about in our today's lecture. Students, in our next lecture we will learn this concept, that is resonance structures. So this is all about in our today's lecture. Thank you very much.